Welcome to this lesson on direct and inverse proportions for grade 8. In this session, we will explore how quantities can be connected in meaningful ways, and how understanding these relationships helps us solve real-life problems with ease and confidence. In this section, we begin with direct proportion. Let's understand what it means and why it is useful. Direct proportion describes a relationship where an increase in one quantity leads to a proportional increase in another. This means if one value doubles, the other also doubles. The graph of a direct proportion always forms a straight line passing through the origin. Our learning objective is to solve direct proportion problems using both the unitary method and the multiplicative method. Learning outcome. At the end of this lesson, you will understand the meaning of variation, the difference between direct and inverse variations, and you will be able to solve related problems accurately. Variations. When two quantities depend on each other in such a way that a change in one results in a change in the other, they are said to be in variation. Common examples include more items costing more money, or more time allowing you to travel a greater distance. Direct proportions. Here are common examples of direct proportion. The more hours worked, the more earnings received. Buying more items increases the total cost. Cooking more food requires more ingredients. And traveling a longer distance at the same speed takes more time. In direct variation, the ratio between the quantities remains constant. Finding the unknown term. To find an unknown term in direct proportion, we use the rule x over y equals x2 over y2. This method allows us to scale quantities accurately and maintain proportionality. Decide which one of the following is not in direct proportion. Among the situations shown, identify which pairs of quantities increase or decrease together. Those represent direct proportion. For example, the time taken to complete a job when there are more workers. As people increase, the time taken will decreases, which means they are not directly proportional. Donna uses 180 grams of flour to bake 12 cookies. To make 36 cookies, she simply multiplies both quantities by 3. This is known as the multiplicative method, and it helps us quickly scale recipes or quantities. Hence, she needs 540 grams of flour to bake 36 cookies. Tim earns 45 pounds for 3 hours of work, which means 15 pounds per hour. Hence, he earns 15 times 5 is equal to 75 pounds for 5 hours. The unitary method is helpful when calculating cost per unit or rate per unit. Let's solve this problem. 8 croissants cost £9.60. The cost of one croissant is 1.20 pounds, and hence the cost of 5 croissants is 6 pounds. This is solved using unitary method. Practice questions. Try yourself. Here are some practice questions on direct proportion. Try to calculate the unit cost and total cost, find hourly rates, and scale ingredients based on quantity changes. Here are the answers. 1 pen costs 15 pence, and 9 pens cost £1.35. Chad earns 18 pounds per hour, and earns 162 pounds for 9 hours. And the large batch of cupcakes requires 450 grams of sugar. Well done, you have done a great job. Introduction to inverse proportion. Now, we move to inverse proportion. Here, when one quantity increases, the other decreases. For example, more workers completing a job means less time is needed. This opposite variation forms the basis of inverse proportion. Inverse proportions in detail. In inverse proportion, the relation of the two quantities is such that their product remains a constant. If x increases, y decreases accordingly. For example, the faster you travel, the less time you take to cover a fixed distance. Let's observe some of the examples. Here is a visual representation of inverse proportion. Notice how, as one value rises, the other falls, yet their product remains unchanged. As the product of x and y remains a constant in inverse proportions. The product of 4 and 10 is 40, hence for 20 men, only 2 days are needed to complete the work. Let's recall and compare direct and inverse proportions. In direct proportion, the ratio of the two quantities remains constant. In inverse proportion, the product of the two quantities remains constant. Real-world example, workers and time. More workers completing a job means the time required decreases. Fewer workers mean more time is needed. In all cases, the total amount of work, represented by work hours, remains constant. Let's see some examples in real-world application, pumps. In pumping water, doubling the number of pumps halves the time needed to empty the tank. This is a classic example of inverse proportion in daily life. Observe the given table on inverse proportions, which reinforces the idea that multiplying workers by the hours always gives the same constant. Apply this constant to find how long 12 workers would need to complete the work. Now, let's practice finding the constant of proportionality to solve the given problem on inverse proportion problems. Word problem, painting a house. 4 workers take 6 hours to paint a house. Since this is an inverse proportion, we multiply to find the constant. Then we divide the constant by 8 workers to find the new time, 3 hours. Construction deadline. A crew of 15 workers finishes a wall in 12 days. To finish in 9 days, we calculate the constant and divide by the new time requirement. We find that 20 workers are needed. Speed and time. Speed and travel time are inversely proportional. A car traveling faster takes less time. Using the constant, we find that reducing the speed to 45 miles per hour increases the travel time to 4 hours. Here is another example of inverse proportions. Test your understanding and solve this problem on your own. A bag of cat food lasts 30 days for 2 cats. With 5 cats, the time decreases. Use the constant to determine how many days the same food will last. Boyle's law, pressure and volume. According to Boyle's law, the volume of a gas decreases as pressure increases. Using the constant, we calculate that a pressure of 5 atmospheres reduces the volume from 400 milliliters to 160 milliliters. Summary of inverse proportion. To summarize, in inverse proportion, as one quantity increases, the other decreases. Their product always remains equal to a constant. This concept is widely applicable in physics, engineering, and everyday situations. Try by yourself, practice question. Here is a practice question involving pumps and time. Find the constant first, then determine how long 4 pumps would take. Thank you for joining this lesson on direct and inverse proportions. I hope you enjoyed learning and feel more confident applying these concepts in real-life situations. See you in the next video.